Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Willow shoots Drew at the wedding, banging off the ceremony? According to General Hospital spoilers, Willow Tate may shoot Drew Kane during the wedding, bringing this crazy event to a dramatic conclusion. Fans are anxious to see if Curtis Ashford's recent shocking revelation will push Willow over the edge. Curtis discovered that Drew and Nina Reeves were having an affair when Willow was falling for him in the most recent July episode. Last year, both before and after the 4th of July, Drew was having a great time with Willow's mother, according to Curtis. Naturally, Willow will not simply believe what Curtis says. Willow will have the opportunity to question her mother about whether or not she had an affair with Drew, as Nina will soon be returning to the bridal prep area. Willow will undoubtedly be upset when Nina is forced to reveal those intense moments with Drew. Willow will feel foolish by the time the wedding ceremony starts because Drew and Nina have been keeping this information from her for more than a year. The weekly preview trailer for the show suggests that the wedding will go on anyhow. However, despite learning of this betrayal, Willow is not guaranteed to say I do to Drew. Willow's unsettling behavior has been the subject of much discussion, particularly after Drew and Nina independently determined that she must have pursued Daisy Gilmore and meddled with Sasha Gilmore Corbin. A lot of holes in Willow's mental stability are depicted by GH writers because Liesl Albrecht also noted that Nina's daughter had a serious problem. Willow might reach her breaking point after learning about Drew and Nina's hookups. In light of that, we wouldn't rule out Willow obtaining a gun and shooting Drew rather than being married. Willow may lose all self-control and feel as though she blew up her life for an unworthy man. All of Willow's hurt and anger, especially over losing custody of her kids, could blow up in a decisive moment when she shoots Drew. According to General Hospital teasers, Willow may lose her mind more than ever before. Keep checking back for updates on any impending disaster. GH spoilers, is the unidentified man surveilling Jason and Rocco associated with Britt? According to General Hospital spoilers and updates, a mystery man was seen at the Metro Court pool and on the plane ride home next to Jason Morgan. The same individual appeared to be closely monitoring Rocco Falconeri there. May he be related to Britt Westbourne? Who's keeping an eye on Jason? Devoted soap fans naturally begin to piece things together after it was confirmed that Kelly Thibault would be returning to General Hospital as Britt. They want to know how and why, as well as who helped her during this period. When a passenger seated next to Jason on the plane was shown prominently earlier this week, the first indications of interest were raised. Following the safe arrival of Daisy Gilmore and Sasha Corbin at Robert Scorpio's, Jason saw someone he thought was Britt as he was sitting in the airport on his way home. Carly Spencer tried to convince Jason that Britt might still be alive by pointing out that Rocco's questions about her were probably keeping her at the forefront of his mind. The same guy was seen observing Rocco at the Metro Court pool. They were talking, and the same man was standing behind them. However, Liesl Albrecht didn't start paying any attention to the drama that was developing between the four of them until Dante Falconeri and Lulu Spencer approached him. Is he involved in Britt's comeback, serving as her spy for Jason and Rocco, the two guys she loves? Britt's journey in Port Charles. When Dr. Britt Westbourne was first introduced to GH fans, she came across as self-assured, shrewd, and unrepentantly cunning, quickly earning her the nickname the Britch. Over time, though, Britt developed into one of the soap opera's most compelling characters, combining elements of vulnerability, villainy, and unexpected warmth. Britt's experience in Port Charles, as portrayed by the endearing Thibault, has been anything but mundane, and her latest return has fans buzzing again. Britt immediately made an impression when he made his medical debut at General Hospital in 2012. In her passionate pursuit of Dr. Patrick Drake, she started her trip on precarious ground. Britt's manipulation of Emma and her pregnancy fraud. After using his little daughter Emma Scorpio Drake to gain his attention, Britt stepped up her attempts by claiming another woman's child as her own and feigning pregnancy. Additionally, she concealed the fact that Rocco was not her or Patrick's child, but rather the son of Dante and Lulu. Britt's darker tendencies weren't an accident. She was the daughter of the villainous Caesar Faison and Dr. Liesl Albrecht, two notorious people in GH history. Britt's icy, cunning early personality was shaped by her upbringing with parents who were masters of lies, manipulation, and terror. But even in her darkest moments, fans could see glimpses of the suffering that underpinned her behavior, and Thibault's portrayal demonstrated that Britt was more than a simple antagonist. Romance with Jason, friendship with Brad Cooper. One of the most unexpected and treasured aspects of Brit's journey was her friendship with Brad Cooper. The two oddballs bonded authentically, sharing humor, loyalty, and secrets. Brit's redemption journey was aided by Brad being the only person who accepted her for who she was. Brit made a couple brief trips back to town after fleeing in embarrassment, but her metamorphosis didn't really begin until her extended stay in 2020. After taking some time off and gaining new perspective, Brit returned to Port Charles as chief of staff with the intention of leading with more honesty. She forged new connections, particularly with Jason, who saw through Brit's harsh demeanor to a more vulnerable side that was capable of selflessness and deep love. Brit's health issues and her tragic death in a devastating turn of events, Brit revealed that she had acquired the gene for Huntington's disease, a deadly illness for which there is now no treatment. She chose to accept life on her own terms rather than avoiding it. This devastating news gave her story more emotional weight and created a sense of urgency that affected a lot of her choices. During this period, Thebo delivered powerful performances that demonstrated Brit's tenacity as her time on the show reduced. In a surprising turn of events, Brit was stabbed by the hook and killed off in early 2023. Considering how much she had conquered, supporters were shocked by her death after she was pierced by the end of the hook while saving Jocelyn Jacks. The heartfelt goodbye between mother and daughter. Brit's sentimental goodbyes to her friends and to her mother, Liesl, were among the most heartbreaking moments of the year. Up until this point, it seemed as though Brit's story had ended. Viewers still don't know the specifics of her absence, despite the fact that she recently came back from the grave. Was Albrecht covertly taking care of her daughter all along? Or did she really believe she was dead? She was devastated when Brit was killed, but maybe she believed Brit was truly dead at the time. General Hospital spoilers, Maxie goes on a heartbreaking search for Nathan after Brit's disclosure. One crucial point that must be addressed in light of General Hospital spoilers and updates is whether Ryan Paevey's character Nathan West is still alive. Would Kirsten Storm's character Maxie Jones start looking for her spouse after hearing the latest information concerning Kelly Thiebaud's character Brit Westbourne? Is that Brit? We can't say with certainty whether Liesl Albrecht's kid has indeed come back from the dead or whether she is only a clone because, of course, this Brit story is still very early. The actress's recent statement implies that she is, in fact, the real Brit and has managed to escape her terrible destiny, which may open the door for others to follow suit. This is especially likely if Liesl is complicit in Brit's return and knows more than she is disclosing. Would Albrecht have been able to bring her son back to life if she had the opportunity to bring her daughter back to life? Liesl would undoubtedly treasure the chance to have both of her children back in her life if it were feasible, as she was equally grieved by Nathan's passing. Victor Cassadine's death could have been staged given his past fascination with Liesl. There's a chance that Victor Cassadine is still alive and planning everything. It wouldn't surprise us if Victor played a role in Brit and possibly Nathan's return, whether they are clones or the real thing. Some GH fans suspect that Caesar Faison may still be alive and secretly influencing events. It is crucial to keep in mind that both Brit and Nathan are the children of Faison. In any case, Kirsten Storms just announced on Instagram that she will be taking some time off to adjust to her new life in Tennessee. Fans will go crazy over Kirsten Storms' comeback story. Before she returns to Port Charles, Storms hinted at a significant plot point that will undoubtedly cause fans to freak out. Could Maxie go off-screen to search for her husband after learning he might still be alive somewhere? What if Brit's survival suggests Nathan's potential survival as well? On the other hand, if someone with bad intentions uses a theoretically alive Nathan as bait, this situation might easily become a trap, luring Maxie into a kidnapping plot. However, it would be fantastic if Nathan West returned to the canvas as the result of all of this. It would be great to have Nathan return to Port Charles at some point, regardless of whether Ryan Paevey returns or another actor takes his place. Astonishment at the altar. General Hospital spoilers, when Nina's affair is revealed, Willow loses it. While Sonny gives Marco a severe warning, Willow eventually confronts Nina about her history with Drew. As secrets come to light and relationships strain to the breaking point, tensions escalate across Port Charles and Ava becomes suspicious. Willow corners Nina about her secret after finding out that Drew and Nina had an affair last summer. Willow's world comes crashing down. She demands direct answers from Nina after Curtis dropped the bomb. Willow demands the truth in a heated exchange, appending their shaky mother-daughter bond. Nina does not refute the charge. She verifies it all with tears in her eyes. However, as Nina exposes Willow's personal secrets, particularly her connections to the Daisy stalker case, the topic swiftly shifts. As the argument devolves into blame, remorse, and the fear of losing one another forever, emotions rise. Spoilers for General Hospital: Sonny's new rules rock Port Charles. In the meantime, Sonny confronts Marco Rios and gives him a severe warning. Marco is safe as long as he avoids Jens Sidwell's dubious activities. Jens, however, presents a distinct image across town. He tells Lucy Coe that he wants to make peace with Sonny, but that is obviously untrue. The tension among the mob quickly increases. This time, Carly and Lucas debate about the fallout from Sonny's feud with Jens. It's only a matter of time until lines are crossed, and trouble is brewing. While Christina feels the burn, Molly and Cody are in love. Molly surprised Cody in the pool, and their flirtatious conversation suggests a deeper connection. Christina isn't having it with Cody's coolness. She gives a distant stare, obviously uncomfortable with what she sees. Christina then turns into Michael's emotional listening device. He talks candidly about the toll Sasha's departure with Daisy has put on him. Even as she struggles with her own reservations regarding Cody's developing relationship with Ava, her consoling words provide some clarity. Ava feels trouble after seeing Nina storm off earlier. Ava is shaken by Nina's emotional collapse and senses that a significant thing is about to happen. It's obvious that Willow and Drew's wedding is now in jeopardy. Unaware of the storm, Drew tells Scout that everything will work out. But he secretly fears Willow may leave. Particularly now that he has discovered her covert role in Daisy's stalker drama. He has hazardous leverage because of that information. Kate Monsey of General Hospital gets called out after the judge of the Daytime Emmy breaks the rules. One of the judges for the Daytime Emmys broke the rules, according to Parade, and the official Emmys handle on the social media site X just published a FAQs thread in early July. Judges are prohibited by the standards from discussing particular categories they served on or their opinions of the material they reviewed in private, in person, or on social media. Kate Monsey of General Hospital, a previous Daytime Emmy winner and this year's nominee, appears to be in trouble. Christina Corinthos Davis move: Kate Monsey's character, Christina, is notorious for making rash decisions that put her in the hot seat. Shortly after the nominations were revealed, Monsey shared a screenshot of an article on her Instagram stories that highlighted the Outstanding Lead Actress in a Daytime Drama Series category. "I was so lucky to judge this impossible category and so proud of each of these women and friends," she remarked in the Instagram story. "Let's give Kate Monsey a break given that many of her former and present co-workers received nominations this year and were swept up in the excitement. Kate was probably thrilled about all the nominations. It appears that she unintentionally broke this guideline because she was probably proud of the significant part she performed. It's unclear as of this writing whether she will face consequences for this, but since it was in her story and those posts are only visible for 24 hours, it's no longer on her social media accounts, so that's one thing, isn't it?" For her portrayal of Christina Corinthos Davis, a character she has portrayed since 2023, Monsey has been nominated for a Daytime Emmy this year in the category of Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Drama Series. She previously appeared on Days of Our Lives as Abigail DiMera from 2011 to 2016 and again from 2018 to 2020. On Friday, October 17th, the 2025 Daytime Emmys will take place in Pasadena, California. According to GH Rumors, 3 characters will soon meet their demise. According to General Hospital spoilers, 3 significant character deaths are the subject of some internet speculations. How will certain fan favorites' exit tales unfold, and who might they be? Continue reading below. Fans of Goodbye GH have been waiting for Monica Quartermaine to die since Leslie Charleson, who played the character, passed away in January 2025. Fans are also aware that Monica has been battling health issues even though her name keeps coming up in storylines. Having said that, a tribute is being planned in addition to the iconic character's impending death. According to General Hospital spoilers, Erica Slezak, a soap opera veteran, will play Monica's sister in the exit plot. Fans should expect to say farewell to Monica somewhere around the time Erica joins the cast in the fall. Unexpected. Jack Brennan? Rumor has claimed that Chris McKenna's character Jack Brennan will die, and it appears that his involvement with the WSB would be the reason behind it. Right now, he, Vaughn, and Jocelyn Jacks are trying to overthrow PCU Professor Henry Hank Dalton, and things are blowing up at the agency. It will be interesting to watch how this plot develops because Anna Devane and Dante Falconeri appear to be involved in all of this now. However, who will be responsible for Brenna's death? To find out, fans will need to tune in. New storyline revealed by Leslie Webber's death. Although she hasn't appeared on the show since 2021, Leslie Webber is still a legendary figure with many Port Charles roots. She is the grandma of Lulu Spencer and the mother of Laura Collins. Unfortunately, Denise Alexander, who played the role, died in March of this year. It appears like the program will honor both the character and the actress. Therefore, could Nicholas Cassadine return to storylines for his grandmother's funeral? There are rumors that Leslie's death will trigger a new storyline involving the Cassadines. Could he be released early? However, what if this implies that Spencer Cassadine might make a comeback as a recast? Time will tell. Are you looking forward to what is ahead? Hard questions, surprises, and reassurances. Willow Tate poses challenging questions, Molly Lansing Davis surprises, and Sonny Corinthos reassures. Sonny visits Marco Rios and offers him reassurance in return for lying about what actually transpired while he was incarcerated. He assures him that as long as he remains out of his father's affairs, he won't be impacted. Since Jen Sidwell has already left after Sonny's peers, Sonny is aware that he is his opponent and might as well be a rival gangster in Port Charles. Sonny and Marco do not necessarily have to be enemies just because Sonny and Jen's are. By giving Lucas Jones the key and room number in order to save him, it appears that he has made that quite evident. Coexistence in peace? Lucy Coe will extend an invitation, and it appears that she talks to Jens about it. This might be related to Sonny and Jens being invited to the same event, as he tells her it's all about peaceful coexistence. Jens might be describing his retreating attempt to obtain Sonny's peers, which were purportedly desired for the Esplanade. Even though Drew Kane is now busy with his wedding, there hasn't been any further discussion regarding that. In order to maintain that peaceful coexistence, Jens had to reduce funds. Surprises in the meantime, Cody Bell is staring and grinning at Molly as she lies in a bikini on a lounger at the Metro Court pool. Molly informs Cody that she thinks she was able to surprise him, and his expression indicates that it was a good surprise. Ava Jerome is busy somewhere else, so at least it's a welcome surprise. Christina Corinthos Davis's scheme to get Cody to woo Ava away from Rick Lansing has put Cody in a difficult position. Molly would certainly not enjoy being surprised to see that. Christina, who is also at the pool, murmurs, "That's exactly what I was scared of." That most likely refers to the fact that Cody and Molly appear to be getting along well, which runs counter to her storyline about Cody and Ava. Among other things, Christina is attempting to keep Rick and Ava apart because she doesn't want Ava to harm Molly, and Rick is Molly's father. However, she also doesn't want Molly to know that she, Christina, was responsible for the vehicle accident that injured Elizabeth and Rick Webber. Her sister is unaware that Christina endangered Rick's life by cutting the brake lines in an attempt to end Ava's. A happy ending? In the meantime, Drew and his daughter Emily Scout Kane are preparing for the wedding at the church. The flower girl, Scout, is ecstatic about her father's marriage to Willow. "We're all going to live happily ever after," says Drew, looking down at Scout as she smiles. The girl has had a great deal of loss in the last few months, therefore it would be ideal if it happened that way. However, after Willow receives some inside information from Curtis Ashford, the wedding might or might not go through. Hard questions. Willow confronts her mother Nina Reeves, who may have told her what Curtis did nevertheless, as she was getting ready for the wedding in another part of the church. Willow is upset and asks her mother, "Did you have an affair with Drew?" Given that it was largely hate sex and occurred occasionally in either of their offices, their relationship was more akin to enemies with benefits. Even though Willow was still married to his nephew Michael Corinthos at the time, it did coincide with Drew's pursuit of her. If Willow informs Nina that Curtis told her about it, will Nina acknowledge it or deny it? Spoilers, will Curtis or Nina tell Willow about Drew's affair? According to General Hospital spoilers for the week of July, Willow Tate and Drew Kane are going to say "I do," and some truth bombs are about to go off in Port Charles. Will the couple exchange vows, or will a secret be revealed and this romance come to an end, while Drewlo prepares for the wedding that no one wants to attend? Willow Tate discovers the truth. According to General Hospital spoilers, Willow will be informed about Drew's liaison with her mother, Nina Reeves. Even though Nina has made several attempts to confess, the words simply never came out. According to the ABC soap opera's most recent weekly preview, Willow will be informed about Drew and Nina by someone. Will it be her mother or Curtis Ashford? GH viewers sense that throughout the week of July, Curtis was considering the possibility of finally revealing Drew. When Curtis discussed Nina's affair with Drew in a scene with her last week, viewers could tell his thoughts were racing. However, there is also a scene in the preview that suggests Nina might be the one to reveal the truth and prevent her daughter from making one of the most significant errors of her life. The GH promo for the week of July 21st to 25th features a clip of Curtis Ashford versus Nina Reeves, in which Curtis tells Portia Robinson, "I'm going to fight to save you, even if it means betraying a friend." There's also a scene in which Curtis enters Willow's bridal suite as she gets ready to say "I do." Having said that, it's crucial to highlight another footage because GH is notorious for misleading people with these teasers. As the weekly video goes on, Nina appears to be getting ready for the wedding, possibly even before the ceremony, and she is upset as she tells Ava Jerome that she can't endure this any longer. It could be the final straw if Drew irritates Nina prior to his wedding. Drew smiles as he sees Scout Quartermain walk down the aisle as the teaser comes to an end, but there isn't a glimpse of Willow behind the young girl. Does Willow walk down the aisle and confront Drew in front of everyone, or will she discover the truth and turn into a runaway bride? Will Curtis or Nina be the one to tell Drew the truth? The return of Kelly Thibault as Britt is fantastic for Jason, Steve Burton, and GH. The news that viewers had been hoping for and probably suspected was finally confirmed. Kelly Thibault will be returning to the soap opera as Britt Westbourne, the fearless doctor she played from 2012 until her death in 2023. This is fantastic news for General Hospital. For GH and Steve Burton in particular, who has been in desperate need of a leading lady and an on-screen romance as Jason, that revelation is fantastic news. Who is that girl? To have Thibault reappear as a long-lost twin or doppelganger, for example, would have been a complete disappointment. Her portrayal of the feisty and fiery Britt, a divisive figure that fans either loved to hate or just detested, or eventually grew to appreciate, was simply too memorable. Britt was unique and utterly unforgettable. Thibault's strong performance as Britt was the driving force behind her return to the serial opera, and she had to be this character. La femme familiar, it was the ideal touch for Jason to be the first to see Britt getting on an aircraft to Croatia. When the GH writers started pairing them in 2021, people started to cheer for the pair, and it instantly brought them back together. They soon discovered they could be authentic with one another and had formed a meaningful friendship. In the process of helping Britt deal with her Huntington's disease diagnosis, Jason and Britt became a legitimate, however brief, couple. This is because their romance was abruptly ended when Jason was killed off in an explosion. The second time around, ultimately, Heather Weber's murderous rampage claimed Britt as well, and it seemed that the once promising Britt-Jason relationship was over. However, now that both characters are well, their romance can be fully explored and not just revived. For Jason, who has had no female company since coming back to Port Charles, the timing couldn't be more ideal. And Jason's heart is prepared to move on now that his longtime soulmate Sam is gone and buried. Fans finally have a chance to experience the full-fledged Britt-Jason coupling that they were cheated out of years ago, assuming Britt is also unattached. Heck, even if she isn't. The connection that fans briefly glimpsed but were quickly dragged away from is finally coming to life. Fortunately for GH viewers, the long-awaited and distinctive love tale can now finally be revealed. Curtis gives Willow a startling secret, and Nina has a terrifying epiphany. Michael Corinthos and Carly Spencer receive reports from Sonny Corinthos, and Carly gets into a fight with Lucas Jones. Michael also shares with Wiley Corinthos the news of his mother Willow Tate's upcoming marriage to Drew Kane. When Sonny runs into Carly and Michael at the pool, she worries about their safety because of his fight with Jen Sidwell. Sonny tells her that Lucas reported him to the police. Wiley and Michael show there and begin swimming as Sonny tells his ex that Marco Rios' intervention was the only reason he was able to avoid arrest. Michael returns and asks the same question when she asks whether they are safe now. Sonny responds that he and Sidwell had reached a short-term deal. He discusses with his son how things could have gone differently with Willow. While Michael feels that what happened was inevitable, Sunny thinks that Drew took advantage of the circumstance and destroyed any possibility of a reunion. Lucas and Marco wake up together, then talk to Sunny. Lucas wakes up in bed as Marco strokes his chest, they kiss, and he firmly believes that nothing can separate them. Lucas is glad they took their time. As they resume kissing, Marco thinks they are headed for something amazing. Lucas concurs but wants to speak with Sunny first. The two men enter a corner of the pool, where Sunny advises the doctor to be grateful for what he has. Marco was lucky. He goes away after telling him not to call the cops the next time. Carly and Lucas have a fallout. Sunny goes up to Carly and tells her that her ex told him he had no right to be angry about what had transpired. Lucas asks why she continues to defend Sunny's actions after she responds that Sunny is right. Carly accuses him of overreacting to everyone and says he must accept her decisions. He claims that Sunny abducted Marco, but she insists that he is too blind to realize that things are more complicated than that. Lucas eventually gives up and leaves after the two argue some more. After Wiley completes his swimming session, Michael beckons him out of the pool and informs him that his mother is being married to Uncle Drew today. Sunny warns Marco to keep out of his way. Wiley is unhappy. He hoped that his father and Willow would reconcile and remain together. Sunny finds Marco in his Metro Court suite somewhere. Sunny goes to Marco's room and tells him that he is the reason he is out of the situation he was in. He wants Marco to keep his distance, but he doesn't expect a thank you. Kai Taylor runs into Trina Robinson at the coffee shop, but he might as well be bumping into a brick wall when he tries to make amends. Trina refuses to break up with Kai. He knows she feels deceived, but his feelings for her have not changed. She retorts that there is no way for them to go back once he admits he is on his way to the wedding. Kai leaves feeling defeated after realizing she won't give it another attempt. As he heads to the church to talk to Drew prior to the wedding, she sees her message and heads to her mother's office at GH. Portia and Curtis update each other when Curtis Ashford shows up at Portia Robinson's office. She goes over her letter of resignation. When he asks if she remained overnight for work, she responds that she did so because it might be her last night there. He thought she would hold off until every other possibility had been considered. She says she has already told Willow about everything that didn't work out. Curtis pleads for one more day, and they debate their alternatives. She can only depart with honor if she resigns. She believes that after Michael gets married, Drew would be even more determined to have her change his test results. When Curtis believes he has an advantage, Trina shows up. Curtis contends that there is still a chance the wedding won't happen and that he might need to betray a friend to make sure of it. When Trina shows up and asks why they are talking, Portia is prepared to explain everything, but Curtis cuts her off, stating that they were just curious about how she was doing following her breakup. After advising his daughter that Kai needs to learn the value of making concessions in relationships, Curtis departs, and Portia and her daughter talk about Kai. Although she advises Trina to trust her gut, she also cautions her that people are fallible and frequently fall short of expectations. Kai had no chance of reconciliation with Trina as long as he was associated with Drew. Alexis and Drew talk despite her skepticism about his marriage to Willow. Drew thanks Alexis Davis for her support when she pays him a visit. They talk about Emily Scout Kane and how, no matter where they live, he will never be a barrier between them. It would be better for Scout to become used to her stepmother before the move, so Alexis asks him to wait to tell her until he is sure about their move. Drew concurs, and Alexis thinks he would always put his daughter's pleasure before his own. Scout then walks in, and they remark on her attire. She expresses her joy about them all living together with her family when he gives her compliments. After Alexis and Scout leave, Kai walks up to speak with Drew, and he tells him about his plans for his honeymoon. Drew says that this retreat is just what Willow needs after thinking back to when he first learned of her meddling with Daisy. Kai's boss believes he may be to blame when he discloses that he and Trina have broken up. Kai acknowledges that Trina feels let down by him. Kai wishes him luck and says he hopes that after this, he and Willow can focus only on their happiness. As wedding preparations proceed, Liesl Albrecht arrives at the church and clashes with Liz. She first looks at the chapel's decorations before making some sarcastic remarks about their past. She remarks on the beautiful flowers, pointing out that they have been given up for an unworkable marriage. In the meantime, Willow thanks Nina for all of the help as she gets ready for the wedding in the bride's room at the church. Praises to Nina, she is getting married today. Willow praises Liesel for donating her bone marrow, and Albrecht and Liz join them. Liesel says Willow is grinning, just like when she found out Sasha Corbin had left town, as Liz and the bride look at the flowers. Scout has a present for Willow. When Scout and Alexis arrive, the young girl gives Willow a gift. Nina gets offended and quickly leaves after making an excuse. Scout shows her a picture of them and asks if Willow can call her mom. Willow says she can call her anything she wants. She assures her that she will always be there for her mother, even though she will never be able to replace her. Liesel sends Alexis her deepest sympathies on Sam's passing. When the lawyer tells her how reassuring Drew has been about Scout, she is not happy. When Ava Jerome finds Nina crying in the chapel, she confesses, "Things are far worse than I imagined." Nina sobs to Ava, and Curtis drops a bomb on Willow. To Ava, it all sounds like gaslighting when she tells her that Sasha has left town because of some disturbing events involving Daisy. What if it was Willow? Nina worries. Even though she doesn't have any proof, it's a possibility. While Ava looks for other reasons, Nina is certain that Willow planned everything to keep Daisy and Sasha apart. I'm done. I'm really done. As Willow is getting dressed, Curtis walks into the bride's room and Nina yells and storms off. He blurts out that Drew was involved with her mother last summer before she can eject him, indicating that she has no interest in talking to him. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.